tonight. I'm very honored and humbled that Special Olympics Connecticut chose me to be the keynote speaker for the awards ceremony. Eminem, yes, Eminem, once said, look, if you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or would you let it slip? Now, you are probably wondering why I would pick a rather controversial rapper to quote, yes? I'm guessing you probably never, ever hear another speech where they quote Eminem, and I'm good with that. I reference him for two reasons. From my perspective, he seems misunderstood. For most of my life, I have felt misunderstood, so I felt as though I can relate to him. Number two, this life is my one shot, my chance to seize everything I've ever wanted. Throughout my life, I have marched to the beat of my own rhythm, as I feel Eminem does. Would I have liked to march in rhythm with my peers? Of course. However, that was not my path. Special Olympics has had a profound impact on my life. I hope I'm able to vividly portray how much this organization means to me. I have lived in Simsbury for most of my life. My childhood was tough, to say the least. I was a child that was thrown in lockers, punched, made fun of, and picked on relentlessly. I was told to go home and never come back because nobody would ever be my friend. As a child, I was completely and utterly broken, more times than I can count. I remember going home to my mom, sitting on my couch, shaking, crying, and telling her I wanted to be normal. I would have done anything in my power to be normal. I didn't have friends, and as a child, I didn't understand why. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. I remember going to see Santa. While most kids asked for, I remember going to see Santa. While most kids asked for a truck, a Barbie, or the latest, coolest toy, I simply asked Santa for friends and for the chance to be normal. Sounds heartbreaking, right? This was my reality. Santa, over time, would finally give me what I wanted for Christmas. I just could not understand why he waited so long to deliver. He's got elves. He's got pixie dust. He's got flying reindeer. Help a girl out. I hated elementary school, to say the least. I tried everything in my power not to go, so that I would not be subjected to the teasing and humiliation. I think that's the first breath I've taken in 2 years. In 1997, I graduated high school. I attended the Riverview School in East Sandwich, Massachusetts. Riverview School is a school for children with learning disabilities and autism. To me, it was just high school. But for the first time ever, I had friends. I excelled in my academics, ultimately earning the Presidential Academic Award. I had a reason for being and a reason to do whatever I put my mind to. I found myself, ironically, at my best while on the basketball court. Having an amazing coach and being a leader on my team made me feel as though I was on top of the world. Like this was the prime of my life. I left my senior year of high school as the lead scorer and valedictorian of my class. Up to this point, this by far was some of the best experiences of my life. However, with wins comes losses. I graduated, and then over the next 10 years, I endured a few crumbling, debilitating losses. I hit a low. Medical personnel stated I wouldn't bounce back from what I was going through. I had prepared myself to take my last breath. At the age of 24, my anxiety, depression, and my mental health was taking a severe toll on me. I had no more fight left in me. I had run out of gas. Over the span of approximately 14 years, I did bounce back. It wasn't not easy, but I made it. I made it through with grit and determination. I didn't have the same zest I carried with me through high school. My zest was different. However, I was making my way through the world, one day at a time. In May of 2018, I had spent about a month in my house extremely depressed and anxious completely afraid of the outside world. I found myself crumbling and going down a path I didn't want to face once again. My therapist stated to me that I needed to find a social outlet, or she would find one for me. Not knowing what she had in store, I chose to find an outlet on my own. I started looking at ways to be more social. I knew I liked sports. I was successful playing basketball at Riverview, so I took the plunge, made some calls, and was enrolled in Special Olympics. I ended up joining Special Olympics in May of 2018 during soccer season. At first, I didn't say a word during practice. I was scared and terrified. I even heard the coaches ask if I was nonverbal. Now that's fun. They clearly hadn't got to know me at all. Not only was I proud that I was able to be a part of Special Olympics, I was proud to tell my therapist that I had attended a practice and I had fallen in love. I had no idea that this organization would alter my life for the better. I found out that there was more to Special Olympics aside from participating in sports. Has anyone ever heard of Over the Edge? What comes to mind when you ask that question? The fear. Over the Edge. One of my very first Special Olympic events was Over the Edge. I knew nothing about it. I got involved with this after then School Resources Officer Laurel Harrington of the Simsbury Police Department came to rescue me out of my basement. It's a long story. While rescuing me, she calmed me down by talking about her connections with Special Olympics. I didn't think much of it. She gave me her phone number and told me to call her if I needed anything else. About a month or two later, she called me and asked me if I wanted to rappel down 36 stories of a casino with her as a Special Olympics fundraiser. Because that was the next logical step in our friendship. I went. I was scared to death. She's extremely lucky that I didn't disown her that day. Trust me, it crossed my mind probably more than it should have. But I did it. 3 times, as a matter of fact. 3 years in a row, I rappelled down 36 stories of a casino. Some people may call me crazy, and honestly, it's a fair assessment. Now newly promoted Sergeant Harrington and I do many more activities together, like the torch run and various fundraisers for Special Olympics. I am extremely grateful for you. I never asked Sandy for a cop friend. Boy, did you deliver. I get to be friends with a cop. Now that makes me feel cool. Special Olympics has brought so many wonderful memories. For example, last November, I was at basketball qualifiers. We played one of my favorite team, North Haven. It was brought to my attention by another partner that one of their athletes had never ever scored a basket. I looked at her and I said to her, that's all going to change today. The partner looked at me very puzzled and was like, how? I simply said, watch. As I got most of the rebounds, I guess we can thank my 5'10" stature. I would feed her the ball time and time again. To me, it really wasn't a big deal. I wanted desperately for her to have the confidence to score. After about 20 times, the ball went up and she scored. I was elated for her. The best part, after she scored, she went up to her father and she said, Dad, look what I did. She's proud of herself. I was proud that all my lifelong teachings had led me to this moment of empowering a fellow athlete. With tears in my eyes, still, and love in my heart, overwhelming feelings of joy filled me. That moment, it was not about the teams, the score, or even where we were. We were not divided. We were all friends on the same team and rooting for each other. We were all on Team Special Olympics. After this happened, North Haven coordinator came up to me in front of my coach Amanda and said, thank you. I saw what you did out there. Her comments confused me, mostly because I thought I was in trouble. Shouldn't we all do the right thing and just simply be a good human? That moment made me realize that being a good human should be celebrated more often. Another one of my favorite memories was the day that I found out I was going to Australia. I was selected to write another speech to tell everybody what Special Olympics and Dream Ride meant to me. Apparently, I have a knack and reputation to write a good speech. After I presented my speech, Michael Basuto told me that I had been gifted the opportunity to represent the USA in Australia. My mother often teases me that the best question I asked her in that moment was, can my mom come too? I wanted to thank Hometown Foundation for giving me this once-in-a-billion lifetime opportunity. This coming May, after 2.5 years of waiting, I finally get to go. I promise to represent all of you in the United States of America in the best way possible. Within the Special Olympics community, I have many special friendships. My friend Barb from Farmington Valley is one of them. Despite her limited language, when I'm with her, I can be myself. I am never judged. I just sit there. I just sit with her, sometimes in silence, hold her hand, and all my worries that I have go away, and I've got a lot of them. We always make sure that we get on our selfie. It is essential. Something so small, yet so incredibly important to the both of us. That, my friends, is one of the greatest gifts in the world. To be able to be yourself with no strings attached. Special Olympics has given me that gift. Another one of my friendships, and I really hope she's here, another one of my friendships that I cherish is my friendship with Debbie Horn. For those of you who don't know Debbie, she is the Director of Communications and Marketing for Special Olympics. She's also the coordinator for all the Global Messengers, which I have the privilege to be one. I met Debbie on a whim at an Open the Edge event. When I was rappelling down the casino, she was talking to my mom about how much she wanted me to be a global ambassador. By the time I reached the bottom, she had convinced my mom that it was something that I should highly consider applying for. Debbie's first real test for me was that she instantaneously put me on the news. I guess it's true what they say, go big or go home. Being a global messenger is so much fun. Our meetings are held via Zoom. If you've ever been to one of our meetings, it's a lot like herding cats. We are all so excited to see each other and talk to each other and check in. Debbie takes control with love, patience, and guidance. She never yells or gets upset if we stray away from the topic at hand, because I would never do such thing. She makes us feel like she loves all of us unconditionally. She encourages us to do our best, even in the toughest situations. Debbie believed in me so much that she asked me to create over 50 DIY Chocolate Couture craft bundles for all of the global messengers for our yearly training. Special Olympics has also given me the courage and confidence to open my own business called Little Birdie Chockers, named after my cat. Yes, I had a cat named Birdie. I am an independent designer for Chocolate Couture. In layman's terms, I get paid to make really pretty things. Like in Special Olympics, my platform with Chocolate Couture is to bring inclusion and to prove that anyone can make pretty things and run their own business with hard work and dedication. With over 2,000 designers, I am the first one with autism ever to achieve a leadership status, a title that I'm extremely proud of. My dream is to bring more inclusion into Chocolate Couture and break down the stigma of people with disabilities, because we might do it a little bit better. Inclusion is so important to me that with the help of my family, I have created an award called the Robin Batchelder Community Inclusion Award that will be given to 2 seniors each year at a local boarding school. In our lives, we are lucky enough if we find a tribe of people. I'm lucky enough to have found more than one. I promise you it's almost over. I must take this moment to acknowledge all of our sponsors and those who worked so hard to make tonight a success. If the athletes would join me in giving a round of applause to those individuals who work tirelessly day and night, every day to make our dreams come true. To me, they aren't donors, volunteers, or Special Olympics staff members, they are dream makers. As I wrap up tonight, there is a group of people that I'd like to thank. To my family, my mom, dad, Carrie, Ben, Ashley, and my Aunt Debbie, thank you for everything that you have done for me. I know at times our lives have been rocky. However, through the good times and bad, in the end, we have each other, like it or not. I hope that tonight, standing up here in front of all of these people, I have made you proud. To my fans that are here tonight, Lori, Sarah, Brooke, Dale, Lynn, Jen, Patrick, Carlene, Kevin, John, Chief, Nick, and Jenna, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedules to be here tonight. A special shout out goes to my friend Jenna, who rescheduled her appointment to have her wisdom teeth removed in her smile. Now that's friendship. Thank you for encouraging me to make my complete mess a message. To my coaches, Gretchen, Carrie, Amanda, John Avis, and everyone else at Farmington Valley Special Olympics, thanks for the laughs. I'm grateful for our times together. I can say that I feel like I'm on the best team in the entire world. I'd like to once again thank everyone at Special Olympics for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You choosing me to be your keynote speaker has been one of the greatest moments of my life. That little girl shaking on the couch never knew she'd be able to feel so loved. Santa finally gave me my wish after all those years. I guess that pixie dust finally worked. Thank you seems so very arbitrary. I am beyond grateful and humbled for your love and support. Now, I want to leave you with two quotes I felt were fitting it for this event. And the reason there's two is because I'm indecisive. The first one is from the movie The Greatest Showman. I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, because we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I will not let them break me down to dust. I know that there is a place for us, for we are glorious. I am not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. The other quote is from the television show from Cheers. I am a bit of an 80s sitcom junkie. If you don't know the premises of Cheers, it's a television show from the 80s about different characters from different walks of life just wanting to find a place that they could call their home. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to go where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. How cool is it that we have a place where everybody knows our name and we can be glorious, unapologetic.
Robin, come back up on stage. Take that center stage and that what a tribute to Special Olympics Connecticut. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's our honor to introduce you to Kate